Is online dating devastating to our society? I would say yes, but for not the reasons you think. Now, is there the obvious reasons? Hookup culture, commodification of relationships? Yes, but I don't think the problem is actually commodification. I think it's consolidation. What do I mean by that? I'm riffing on Scott Galloway, Professor Scott Galloway here, and some of his research on relationships. But what he finds as very, very fascinating to me, when technology comes into a sector, it consolidates the entire sector. So where there used to be a million different shops and mom and pop shops and malls, now we have Amazon. Where there used to be a various amount of libraries and ways to get information, now we have Google. Where there used to be various marketplaces to meet friends, now we have social media and a couple apps. Now he says the same thing is true about online dating. It turns it into a winner take all or a winner take most game. And that's what's happened with relationships. So what the data is showing us is really, really interesting. Basically, if we have 50 men on an online dating platform and we have 50 women on an online dating platform, what happens is 46 women on average will be vying for the attention of only 4 men, which then makes an inverse crisis of there being 46 men trying to pursue only 4 women. And Galloway talks about this, where he calls it the Gini coefficient, which is how we measure wealth, income, inequality, and distribution. And he says if you apply the Gini coefficient to mating and dating in the Western world, there is greater mating inequality now based on data than there is income inequality in Venezuela, which, if you know, is a huge income inequality distribution. And so what do we do with this? I don't know what we do with this, but I want to ask one or two questions. I think one a little bit puts the onus on the women, and one puts the onus on the men. So when I talk to friends who are faced with this crisis, because they feel this, they feel like there is an inequality distribution because of online platforms, that there's infinite amount of choices, okay? So there's a couple different ways that you can go about it. And maybe both of these are true, but I would love to hear what you guys think. I think one reasoning I hear from a lot of friends is that, man, because most women have infinite choices now, they are missing a lot of really good, solid guys in front of them. And there's even a TikTok account, I forget what it's called, but it kind of shows the statistical analysis after you put in what you think they should weigh, their height, what they should look like. And it's like most women are down to a 0.05% chance of finding their mate because their standards are way too high on physical preferences. Now, that's not to have a conversation on, I think they should actually be higher on morale, on character, on courage, and on virtue. But all I'm saying is, do we believe that's true? Or do we believe that's true that because men, like my past video talked about, are mainly uninitiated, there's not a lot of very good men out there for the women that we know? And I've heard both from friends anecdotally. So I'd love to hear in the conversation what you guys think is true. Do you think both is true? Why do you think it's such a crisis? Now, what we can argue with is the data I shared in the first half of this video, but I'm very interested to hear your guys' thoughts.